Welcome to episode 93 of the Ben Briggs podcast. I am Ben Briggs. It's Tuesday's episode, people, but it is Thursday. Thursday, the 26th of March, 2020, and we're all in the swing of the fucking lockdown here in the UK. England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and many other countries as well. I feel your pain, people. I feel your pain. We're deep into the lockdown at the moment. We're only meant to be going out once a day, I think. Is that it? To get a bit of exercise our bodies and our mental health. I'm losing it a little bit, people. I ain't gonna lie to you. Netflix holds nothing for me anymore. Here I was championing it only 2 weeks ago with the amazing things that I've been watching. It's there's not a lot to report, people, really. Nobody's been really up to much here at Briggs Towers. I did have a little escapade out yesterday. I had to go down to Eastbourne. It was critical that I went down there. So I had to do that. I was literally there. I had to drop some bits off and then come back. So it was a nice 6 hour journey. 3 hours there, 3 hours back, and I was literally there about 5-10 minutes, doing my bit, people, to keep this country going. I know, one of the heroes of the heroes of this pandemic. I don't know, people. We're on the wine tonight, by the way, people. So this may be a little bit of a rambly episode. I have ditched the tea. Someone I've been speaking to mentioned that they've been hitting the wine and that, and I was like, oh, I've got a fucking bottle of wine in the cellar down here in the depths of Briggs Towers. Let's crack it open and see how things go. Bit of white Zim Fanda. I know, people. It's not the best. It's what the corner shop on the Briggs Estates is selling right now. They're fucking stocked up to the hill. I tell you, they are. I have never been in that shop before, and they've got bottles of drink, Coke, and fucking booze stacked up. Like, as you walk in, all round the aisles, there's fucking bottles of Coke, 7-Up, fucking Fanta. They are fucking creaming it in at the minute because nobody can go to the fucking supermarkets. Having been there today, I popped up to the local supermarket today, and they're restricting the amount of people who go in, so there's a fucking massive queue. Although I did sly off to a sneaky little tucked-away supermarket, one of the big brands, a little bit more expensive, but there was fucking nobody in there. And I just waltzed round, got what I wanted, and fucking walked out. No queues, no nothing. So, hey guys, DM me, man, and I'll tell you where this secret fucking supermarket is. But yeah, I had to pop out. Driving down to Eastbourne yesterday, the weather at the minute in the UK is fucking unbelievable. It's fucking warm and lovely. It's like crisp in the morning, and just everything that you want to get out and about and go around, see people, drink in a beer garden, that sort of thing, and you can't do nothing, people. People out and about and stuff like that. I had to, the drive down to Eastbourne yesterday was fucking fabulous, man. Sunglasses on, window open. It was just fucking lovely. And it literally was one of those, could have been one of those people, like that woman being dragged out in Spain. I don't know if you've seen that YouTube video of the English woman. Why wouldn't she be an English woman in Spain? Breaking the curfew of swimming in the swimming pool. I thoroughly recommend you watch it just for the pure Schadenfreude Schadenfreudeness. Yeah, I don't know if that's a word, but Schadenfreude is Schadenfreudeness of watching it. Of just seeing somebody flout the fucking Spanish rules of swimming in a swimming pool, and then a police officer just casually just getting changed, getting undressed and getting into his fucking boxer shorts or swim shorts or whatever the fuck he was wearing under his uniform, some tidy whities, and then diving in the pool and dragging her out. And then complaining about it, doing the old. They're obviously giving her a little the arm at the back, and she's starts crying about it. Then, well, was it worth it really? Flouting the rules and going swimming and then and that is a country you don't want to get fucking arrested in, Spain, because they ain't like over here. They will fucking throw away that key and give you a beat. They'll give you a beating with the fucking key and then throw it away, get you to find it, bring it back to them, and then beat you with it again. Yeah. So, it was nice going down to Eastbourne. The drive down, obviously I stayed away from people and shit like that while I was down there. But I had to go down there to drop some bits off. And kept the distance, the 2 meters distance while I was literally there 10 minutes and then fucking came back. So, and I tell you what, I left at like 6:30 yesterday morning. So I hit the M25 probably around about rush hour, about 8 o'clock, 8 till about 9. I was traveling down the M25, and it is the clearest I've ever seen it in my life, either day or night. I have never seen it that empty before. I felt like in With Nail and I, we're making time. It was like that. I was just like a clear fucking motorway right in front of me. There was lorries and stuff like that, a few lorries in the slow lane and that, but there weren't a lot, not as many as usual, and usually it's fucking bumper to bumper. People heeding the advice of our Churchill in waiting, as he wants to be. It seems to be Boris Johnson, who's gone all fucking. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he turns up with a fucking. In the next thing he does, turns up with a top hat and a fucking cigar. He's embodying Churchill at the moment, or seems to be in his own brain. But I hope you keep him well anyway. There's a little bit of wine there going in. I know, people. It feels nice. Yeah, just chill out, relax, have a bit of wine. Why wouldn't you when there's a fucking pandemic going on your doorstep? So, that was yesterday. I managed to get out and about a bit. I really wanted to go. Under normal circumstances, I would have taken a trip to the coast and had a little walk down the beach, but obviously I just did a Yui when I got there and came all the way back. But it was it's just glorious weather at the moment. That's the annoying, the annoying thing about it is people are dying, obviously, people. But the here's a first world problem during a pandemic. A pandemic first world problem, but the weather's really nice. Why can't we sit outside? Because you'll probably kill people if you if you do that. Oh right, okay, yeah. So the weather's been like so nice. Not a cloud in the sky or anything like that when I was driving back yesterday. And today I ventured out my one trip out for the day. I ventured up to a pharmacy because I had to get a prescription of drugs related to the old herniatic situation, which is healing nicely. Actually, it's been 3 weeks now. 3 weeks yesterday, so it's all right. My fucking scar is if I lift anything, man, or cough or anything, I hope I don't get this fucking pandemic thing, because if I cough, it feels like my fucking guts are going to explode out of my fucking scar at the moment. But a few more F's in this episode, no doubt, because of the wine. I don't know, people. I don't know. But I had to venture out to the pharmacy where everybody was observing the 2-meter rule. And there's clearly a queue, and people were like going to the front of the queue and going, "Oh, is this the queue?" Yes, mate. Yeah. You just, you stand 2 meters away, not 1 meter, not yeah. You back up those 2 centimeters, you little fucking stalker. You pandemite. You back up those 2 centimeters. So everybody was observing that. That was quite cool. But there was kind of I was saying earlier, there was kind of a little blitz spirit, people chatting and shit like that in the queue. People getting on, all ages, all races, all sexes, all genders. It was very 2020 fucking shit going on, like in that queue today. It was kind of nice, like people sort of like just waiting their turn, and then they had to obviously trot off and get the stuff, and then you wait in there. I waited an hour. An hour! I know. Normally I'll be like, fuck this, but... like, that's what you got to do these days, isn't it? Like, we're all living essentially at the minute like retired pensioners, aren't we? Kind of scared to go out of the house, kind of scared of anyone who gets within 2 meters of us, pottering around, doing our little jobs, queuing up, talking to people, talking to random strangers. We're all getting an insight into what it's like to be retired when we're in our... God knows what the retirement age will be when I retire. 90s? I imagine something like that. I don't know. But, we're all getting a little insight into what it's like to be a pensioner. Anybody gets within 2 meters of us, and we're like... We're totally observing that. When I went to this supermarket, there's people down the aisle, and you're like, oh, fucking hell, if I go for the crisp right now, I'm going to be within that 2 meter radius of that woman. She might fucking freak out, and the next minute I'm getting dragged out of a swimming pool by Spanish police. Who knows? I don't know. It's all like people even observing that in supermarkets and shit, which is quite good because the aisles don't really lend themselves to being like 2 meters apart. But, I don't know, everybody's, just walk around with a fucking stick 2 meters long and just, like, prod people out the way. That's what we need. We need to be given sticks that are 2 meters long, and we can just, like, walk up to where we need to go and just push somebody out the way with it. I don't know, it'd be a jousting down the aisles of Tesco's or M&S. Oh, God, he's mentioned it. M&S is where I went. Marks and Spencer's, you pay a little bit more, but they had fucking shitloads of stuff. Loads of it. This is it. Like, I'm breaking my silence on this over the airways. Let's have a little bit of wine. The only thing about Zinfandel is, here's the weird thing about it, is it tastes like fucking pop. And I am a greedy drinker when I get going. And I've got that little bit of OCD about me that I don't like leaving any in a bottle. I'd rather have an empty bottle than a half full bottle. I can't just like drink half a bottle and then just leave it and go, well, satisfy that need tomorrow. I don't know. I might have to hammer the lot tonight. I'm not sure. We'll see. Waiting at the pharmacy, though, there was one brutal episode I did see. There was an old boy who was a shuffly old boy. We know a shuffly old boy, don't we? You've all seen a shuffly old boy shuffling along with their tiny little steps. I don't know why they're walking like that. Obviously, this guy, I found out why. It was pretty brutal what happened to him. He got his prescription and shit like that, and it was like adult diapers. And he asked the woman, asked the woman specifically behind the counter, can you, is there any chance you can put those in a bag for me? And I was like directly behind the shuffly guy. So I was like, adult diapers, there you go. And she said, oh, unfortunately, we've run out of bags. And then he had to walk past the whole queue of like 20 people carrying these adult diaper nappies, this country. Diapers for our American listeners. It was brutal. Walking, that is the ultimate walk of shame. Women may have done this. That's a big thing, isn't it? Women or men or whatever after a one-night stand, we've all done it, haven't we? That walk of shame outside. You know, you leave the house, everybody's like, you're still wearing the clothes you had the day before. It's overrated, the walk of shame, really, because nobody knows, really, that you're wearing those clothes the day before unless you walk out, you know, unless you walk out sort of, you know, like saying to people, hey, I was in these clothes last night, or you've been to a funeral or something and managed to pull there. I don't know, people. Whatever your fancy is. But yeah, everybody's done that walk of shame, leaving like a one-night stand. You feel shame yourself more than anybody else is looking at you. But imagine this guy. He's in his 70s. Things have got loose down there. He's got no purchase on the old bladder anymore, and it just goes. And now that whole queue, as he carries them out, one in the left hand, one in the right hand, and he's carrying them past everybody. Everybody knows he pisses himself. That's the point on. That is the worst walk of shame I've ever witnessed. My heart went out to the guy. Not only is there a pandemic going around at which he is a high-risk person, but in amongst all of that, he has to deal with the fact that he's got a bit of a leaky tap, and everybody knows in that queue. Everybody was turned round and looked at him when he was walking by. My heart went out to the guy, but also not that much that I wouldn't mention it on my own podcast. There we go. That's something you don't see every day. A man with his head held low. He knew we're all looking. He looked like a condemned. When she said, we don't have any more bags, he casually just looked over his shoulder to see the queue that he'd have to walk past and hope to God that nobody looked at what was in his hands, and everybody was looking at what was in everybody's hands because everybody's judging each other at the pharmacy, aren't they? Are you really that sick that you should have, taken this time out of my day to get served? And everybody looked, and everybody knew that possibly I would have thought the anxiety of walking past that queue soiled whatever nappy he was wearing at that time. I would have thought he'd immediately have to change as soon as he got home just by walking past that queue. Oh, man, I take my hat off to him, man. He did it. He put his eyes down, didn't make eye contact, just walked through, and I bet he was just thinking, just get past the queue, and then I can fucking deal with this shit on the way home. Hopefully there's no young people around on any roads, just like hanging around. It's worked out well for him. That people have to be spaced out. Actually, it probably hasn't. The fact that you have to walk down past that queue and every 2 meters somebody's going to clock what you're carrying. You've got half a meter before you get to somebody and they're going to clock what you're carrying. They're going to turn around and then you've got about a meter of fucking fresh breathing space where the next person hasn't seen you, and then you get within half a meter of them. And then they clock it. He must have walked it. Oh, fuck. No, it's okay. It's okay. They've gone now. Oh, fuck, the next person. No, I've walked past them. Oh, fuck, there's no... Just don't. I don't know, man. Hey, I might get there myself when I'm older, might I? Who knows? With all the fucking ailments and fucking herniatic shit going down below the waist at the moment. Just to clarify, at the minute, the bruising has gone. At least my fucking testicles and fucking everything are not swollen and fucking purple anymore. Hallelujah, people. That is the main thrust of the best things that are going on in my life at the moment. It's the little things we have to make the most of during this pandemic, isn't it? And the fact I haven't got purple balls anymore is one of them. The other is I have a white Zinfandel in front of me, as previously noted on the podcast. And there we go. There's another sip. Yeah, so that was that. And then I felt sorry for that old boy, man. Picked up the old prescription and then fucking did a little bit shopping and then fucking headed home. And got a few jobs done today. Just a few little fucking jobs I've been putting off. I think that's what everyone is doing right now. Just a few little jobs. Aren't we all? Just looking around the house for things. There's something I've been putting off for fucking months and months and now have no excuse to procrastinate about at all. I better get on that. I clean my car up inside and out. I'm doing the fucking seats tomorrow. I know. It's got to that stage, people. The seats and the mats I'm doing tomorrow. That's what I'm doing, venturing out. That's going to be my little venture out for the day. I may go to the local shop as well. I'm going to include that in the venture out. And there was the thing that happened today as well, weren't there? That I totally missed because I wasn't informed about it until 7:45. One of my neighbours messaged me and said, "Are you coming out at 8 o'clock to clap the NHS at 8 o'clock?" Which was nice. I was halfway through something at the time, so didn't make it out. But I did hear the applause going around the Briggs estate, which was nice. The old NHS workers getting a bit of a cheer and a round of applause for about a minute or so, I think. That's what they did. It was very like the Italian singing. Obviously, that's their thing. We're more reserved here in the UK, so we do the applause for the NHS staff. I think it was like a thing that echoed round these fair isles of ours. So that was nice to see. And then I spoke to somebody else afterwards with regards to that. And they were saying that on their WhatsApp group, people said, "Yeah, but what about the teachers? The teachers are." So, like, I imagine we'll have but then it goes down, doesn't it? Like everybody then wants a round of applause, don't they? What about for the wives of the bin men? The bin men are still working, but what about their wives? They have to put up with that smell. Oh, okay, it's getting a little bit out of hand. But I think the NHS workers doing a fucking great job at the, the ones dealing with the pandemic at the moment. I imagine they're rushed off their feet and shit like that. I've got members of my extended family who are in the NHS and shit like that, and I imagine they're having a bit of a rough time of it. So a worthy and very British thing to do. That is a very British thing to do, a round of applause. We applaud this. That's it. None of that opera singing in the streets or anything like that. We will applaud at 8 o'clock, and it's a good thing. But unfortunately, I missed it because I was informed late, man. I was informed late and was halfway through something else. Also, something I saw today. Sorry about that. That's I imagine that's smoking rather than... Oh, man. This is something I saw... Talking about smoking, something I saw today while standing on the parapet outside of Briggs Towers. I was standing there having a fag, And then suddenly, like in front of me, there was a fucking, just a massive commotion. Like, it looked like two birds had fucking just collided in midair. And then this happened over the other side of the road. There's like a few houses opposite me or whatever. And just in the parking space outside there, it just looked like two birds had just bang hit together, fucking feathers everywhere and shit like that. And then I noticed one of them was a fucking kestrel and the other one was a fucking pigeon. And the old kestrel had plucked it out of the sky and then just fucking body slammed it onto the fucking tarmac. The old pigeon was fucking shitting itself, squealing, as this thing, the kestrel, was fucking headbutting it with its fucking beak, just giving it a good old fucking pecking around the neck, plucking feathers out and shit like that. And I was like, oh, this is nature, man. You know, nature carries on, doesn't it? We've got all this shit going on and stuff like that. They're totally unaware of it. That kestrel flying up there going, there's lunch. No queuing for me at Sainsbury's or Marks and Spencer's or fucking the pharmacy. I am having that fucking pigeon. Come here, you little fucker. And, yeah, so that was going mental. And I was like, well, you know, like, it's a fucking pigeon. You know, like, I felt a bit bad for the old pigeon. To be honest, this fucking kestrel was going hell for leather. It just plucked it. Must have fucking just plucked it out of the sky. The speed it fucking happened, though, it was like a fucking dart and just nailed it. Got him in a chokehold under its wing. Or, I don't know. DDT'd it off the fucking bonnet of a car. I don't know. I'm trying to think of wrestling moves here, but it was fucking all over it. Voracious. And then two of the local weed boys, there's an alleyway next to there, just come round, and they couldn't quite see what was, they couldn't obviously see what was going on because there was a car blocking it, and it was happening in front of this car. Come running around the corner. God knows what they'd done. They'd been spotted smoking weed, or they'd seen a police car or something and shit themselves over, you know, not returning a library book 2 weeks ago. I very much doubt that, by the way. And obviously virtually walked across these two. The fucking kestrel shat itself. Who wouldn't, being approached these days? The old kestrel was like, hang on, guys, you're within my 2-meter vicinity. I know you fucking disease-ridden humans at the moment. That flew off and left the old pigeon fucking twitching like on the floor for a bit, and then it got up and flew away. So you see, weed saves lives, people. Pigeon lives, yeah, but it saves lives. Yeah, it was fucking an eventful sort of thing. And then I got in and I was like, I got a fucking camera on my front of my house. One of them Ring cameras or whatever that clicks in for about 30 seconds when you go out, and then every time you trigger it, it kicks in for like 30 seconds, and it missed the fucking lot. It must have been a 30-second fucking minute sort of like time scale, and it missed the fucking lot, and it was bang on that bit as well, which was fucking annoying because I don't know, I'd have some sort of evidence. I wouldn't share it on social media anyway. I don't know. It was annoying, but I wanted to watch it back because I didn't take it all in when something like that happens. I was just like, fuck it. I mean, I've seen that on wildlife programs. You know, you see a fucking, you know, an eagle or something taking another bird out like midair, but I've never seen anything happen so quick as that. It was like a fucking lightning bolt. This pigeon just flapping along, being a pigeon. Yeah. I'm going to be fucking doing that fucking funny strut in a minute, like when I'm walking around on there. It was just about to land, I think, and this fucking thing, kestrel, just took it out the air completely. Just nailed it. Started beating the shit out of it on the pavement, slapping it around a bit. I don't know. Maybe the pigeon owed it money. I don't know. Maybe it had the same issue that my testicles had after that operation. That pigeon is going to be bruised and fucking battered in the morning, I tell you. But the old kestrel shuts itself from the wheat. That's what pigeons ought to do. Keep themselves safe. Have a couple of weed heads hanging around them. They could probably deliver the goods for it. I don't know. There's a working relationship there that could happen with fucking dope heads. I don't know, man. What are we on? It's 30 minutes, people. We're not going to do any adverts this episode because it is pretty much a bit of a ramble. We'll get back to that on Saturday. Saturday's episode will be Saturday, by the way. I know you're losing faith in me with keeping track of time, but they're difficult times these times, people. Difficult times. So we're going to be back on Saturday, which is only 2 days' time. So I better get out and about and do some stuff and see some stuff and have some opinions on stuff. If you want to contact me at all, it's just podcast@benbriggs.co.uk. Stay safe, people. Does that mean more these days? I don't know. It does a little bit, doesn't it? Things are nice, though. There's a little bit of community out there these days. It's nice. Seeing the old clapping, talking to the old neighbours. It's nice, man. The old neighbours and, either side, having a chat with them and people across the road and at the shop and at the pharmacy. There's a bit more community about these days. People looking out for each other. It's a good fucking thing. This could be where it all changes, people, couldn't it? We've got something big to concentrate on, so we might as well look after each other. I don't know. I'll be back on Saturday, motherfuckers. You take care of yourselves. I'll speak to you then.